Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Backpacktrader training room for Tuesday, May the 18th. Where's the year going? It's almost 5 months. We're 4.5 months into the year already. All right. I'll wait for a few minutes for folks to come in this morning. Glad to be back in the saddle and with you this week. Reminder to everyone that we are on the July contract for crude and unleaded gas for the energies. As of today, the volume has swung over. Good morning, Perry. Please do say hello and hit that like button. It does help the channel. So our first trade of the morning on crude set up at 10 minutes after 9. It spiked down right to our entry. So pushing it down one would put it at 11, and that's a key, puts us at a key level. So I brought my entry on down to 6609, which just triggered in just a few minutes ago. Just a couple of minutes ago, actually. It's still a 16 tick target one. So trading targets 1 and 2 in the 9 a.m. mini session. Unleaded gas, same 9 o'clock start time, has not had any trades yet, nor has the pound Aussie this morning. It's been fairly quiet. Looks like our Russell chart pre-market is currently flat. If it closes up here, it looks like it's going to set up a long trade. The YM has already set up and triggered into a long pre-market, so that's a possible get in sync if it doesn't go too far or come back and touch the stop. Money management on the crude trade is at 65.95. Looks like the $66 level is providing significant support. Good morning, Keith. Good morning, Miles. So watching for market open in a little over 5 minutes. And we're watching crude trade. See if it can break down, get another push downward, get us to target one and a quick not necessarily a quick POQ, since we're already 25 minutes into this mini session. Get us a POQ on the first trade. Oh, that'll be interesting. That's going to end up being the long trade on the Russell will end up being a squeeze zone trade, and therefore it will be filtered out. Because if that bar is going to close up, the low is at 26.3, so 27.1 would be the close, and the 200 EMA is 27.7. Oh, no, that's right. I'm thinking 8 tick. Sorry. 1.5 point. So 26.3, 27.8. Yeah, so the close is at the high it's achieved. So it just needs 1 tick more to close that bar, either high or low. Would have to reach 26.2 or 27.9. But the closing point of the bar is either going to be 26.3 or 27.8. As it has reached its full 1.5 point range. And money management achieved on crude. So move your stop to, if you adjust it, to 66.08, if not, to 66.11. And target 1 achieved. So 16 ticks adjusted, 19 ticks from the system entry. That will be a POQ trade for the 9 a.m. session. And the stop moves down to 66.08. Trailing the balance line now. So everybody's at 66.08. Still no trades on pound Aussie or unleaded gas. Market opening in less than a minute. 20 seconds now. Russell is flat. The YM is right around the entry for a get in sync. 34,272. Good morning, Armando. Sorry, I had to. And the market is open. And going away from us, unfortunately not able to catch that YM trade. Going too far too fast, so we'll look for a new setup. Weren't able to get in sync with that. 28.40, and then the next bar closed at 29.44. Looks like it spiked to the entry, but there's no way to catch that because at 1 second to the close, well above the entry, and proceeding quickly on to money management. So that definitely is a no trade. Not tradable there. Soybeans with a long trade. Looks like that definitely should be something would be in if you're trading soybeans. No trade so far on the Russell. And there is a short trade on the YM. $279 for the entry. Has not triggered yet. Russell trying to move downward. YM not sure it wants to do that. Short trade is still valid. And another touch looks like about 281. Just shy of the entry. And crude did stop out at 66.08. So that trade is complete. Welcome, Urban Rockers. Nice to have you here. Please feel free to ask questions. The only counterpunch chart I have up right now is the soybeans chart in the lower right. And that looks like we've stopped and reversed short. And we have a pending stop and reverse long, although we're still in the short at this point. Short would have been at 96.25, giving us the 2-tick adjustment. I think I would have taken that to 96 even, get it below the 200, but it triggered in anyway. And our long entry would be at 1600.25. I think I would key level adjust. Normally on the quarter point markets, we don't key level adjust. That one is such a big key level. I think I would adjust that and take it to 1600.75 for my stop and reverse adjustment. The Russell with an SMA short trade. And the YM short ultimately did trigger in, and we've hit target 2. So that will be a POQ trade there. And the YM reversing to long from 21.8 on the stop and reverse, or 21.6 for those not using the SMA trade. And everybody should be long. And we have a stop and reverse long on YM that actually will just provide us an exit. The entry at 57, and we hit 56, so we're still in the short. Stop now 243. So we hit target 1 and 2, 241 for the stop. Target 1 actually was 34 ticks, and that was 245. And we just stopped out at 241. So a nice one and done on the YM this morning. One and done on crude. We are currently long on the Russell. Just watching that one. And soybeans is currently short, but there is a new stop and reverse. That would be at 99.50. I think I would carry that one to 1,625. Well, it's too small a trade to do that with. So I'd have to stay with 99.50. I don't like it, especially having spiked to 99.75. Yeah, there's just too many reasons to push that up to 1,625. Make it push through to there, and then your money management would be 0175, and target would be 0250. All fixed positions coming off at target 3. And I believe, did we get? No, we are still short. The 20 adjustment to 25 has kept us short. And money management on the 1.5 point momentum on the Russell stopped to 21.9. Now 22.4. And looks like target 2 was hit on the nose. Target 2 at 27.0. And we've pushed through that now, so target 2 achieved. So those that traded the SMA trade, entry was at 18.6 to 21.8. So that was 32 ticks. Wow, big trade. Yeah, the original risk on that trade was, and now going through target 3, stop at 26.8. Yeah, that original trade was a 40 tick risk, so cut 32. So down 64, and our target 2 on that on the long trade was worth 54, so we're still down. Hey, and we got more than that, 27.9 for the final stop out on that. That will be POQ. 1 and done for gold level traders, 2 and done for diamond level using the SMA trade. So all of our top 3 charts, all 3 charts across the top using Spotlight are 1 and done, or at least are done POQ for the session. Pound Aussies had no trades. Unleaded gases had no trades. And looks like we hit target 1 and 2 on our soybean short, ignoring this new short because we're still in the old one. Stop and reverse and key level adjustments keeping us out of the long trades. So this will be a 1 and done session for soybeans as well. Actually, no, it won't be 1 and done, but it didn't hit because we did pick up the long. We were from 16.99 to 96.25, so 2 3/4 points. $11 ticks, and we picked up 9 ticks at target 1 and 16 at target 2. So we were down 44 on 4 positions. So 9 and 16 is 25. So we're still down 19. And our stop would be at 90. I said 96.0, so actually we're 12.48 down. And we're down 21, actually more than that. 48 less 8 and 15 for 23. So we're still down 25. Actually, we've only gotten target 1 so far. So we've only gotten the 8. Now let's see. No. Yeah, now we've got target 3. Oh, that's on that one. Yeah, we got target 1, 2, and 3. So we got 23 on the first 2 targets. Another 23 on target 3. We're down 5, and the trailer now at 92.25 at target 2. So we definitely are going to be POQ. And now down at 88.50. And finally, our first trade on unleaded. Entry at 1599. And just triggering in now. You might move that to 98 with it sitting right on the 20 SMA. Yeah, 20 SMA is at 1600. So yeah, adjust it one or not. But I believe, yeah, adjusting it one would keep have. Okay, now we're in either way. Soybeans stopped to 1587 even. Big move there. Understand, Ari. I was out of pocket last week, so that's why we didn't have the Tuesday and Thursday sessions. And Troy is still out of his office, but he's doing. He actually did two sessions last week. He did do the crude oil report, but I don't believe he did the Wednesday session. He did the Monday session and the crude oil report on Wednesday at 10:30. But he did miss the Wednesday morning 9:30 session. And from what he said yesterday, that session is still up in the air this week, but I will be here obviously today and Thursday. Normal schedule is Monday through Thursday, 9:20 to 9:30 start time, and then also the crude oil session at 10:30, which we actually set up a new stream for. Now, CPX is counterpunch, and of course, the counterpunch CPX is actually a slightly trimmed down version of counterpunch. Doesn't have quite all the tools available that the full counterpunch does, but it's a good place to start. It's a solid strategy. I traded counterpunch for quite a while. We trade normally. We do trade the pound Aussie in here on Monday, Monday through Wednesday session that we normally run 8:30 start time. There have been no setups this morning. All right, now that's we're running. I'm showing the spotlight, but the counterpunch is very similar, as you can tell from looking at the soybeans chart, but would be traded pretty much fairly similar to what we do with spotlight. And I also am looking at. We also look at the euro yen once in a while. It has slowed down considerably of late. Looks like it just got into a short trade. It was in an early long trade that went too far before our start time, so we weren't in that. Actually, there is. Okay, yeah, that one was. Now there was an SMA trade that might have been. Yeah, that would have been a get in sync for if you're using the SMA trades on that. And then a stop and reverse to short. And that stop and reverse would have been 133.03. So that would have pushed down to 01, and key level would have taken it down to 132.99. So we're actually still in the long trade. Dark blue entry point is hiding right in the session high at the time. So that stop and reverse at 132.99 will remain active until it either hits the stop or triggers in. It's its stop, which is up at 33.21. And the soybeans trade did stop out. At 85.25. A really nice trade there. You can trade those on urban rockers. You can trade those, the NQ and the ES on CPX. The NQ is a fairly volatile product, and you have to be fairly well capitalized, because if you're trying to trade a fairly small or short time frame, it's extremely hard to catch trades. So you end up typically what we've been trading when we do look at the NQ is a 4-point momentum bar or 16 ticks, which creates fairly large trades. But even those are sometimes too fast to trade. So it's a difficult market and can go against you, or it can be very profitable or very costly. So, and the ES is not one Troy has ever been particularly fond of until he did his catapult strategy. The ES is a quarter-point tick market, actually, as is the NQ, which those create their own set of challenges. But the ES is $50 a point, so so $12.50 a tick. Plus the fact that you typically are going to have to trade through a target level to be filled. So you have to understand what you want to do. And that depends on what market you're looking at. Right now, the two markets that I would suggest looking at would be crude or the YM. We've been using the 14-point or a 14-point momentum bar. What platform are you on? Urban Rocket. Or Urban Rockers. But yeah, but both the NQ and the ES are fairly high capital markets, and they both have challenges. The challenges of the quarter point ticks, as well as the ES typically needing to trade through Okay, you're on Ninja, which so you're looking at same would be looking at charts very similar to what I'm projecting. This is Ninja 8 that I'm running. So the 14 point range bar for the YM, and if you're not as highly capitalized, you can always use the micro YM, the MYM, to reduce your risk and have it so you can run multiple positions depending on your account size. What we suggest is for money management wise is keep your risk at no more than 2% of the account for any one trade. So the short trade that we had this morning on the YM was there we go. The risk was 42 ticks at $5 a tick. That's $210 per contract. So to trade two contracts, a fixed target and a trailer, you would need an account that would have, so your risk would be $420, and so that you need about a $20,000 account to trade two YM. Actually, a little bit more than that. We typically don't do anything with the currency futures. The forex pairs, the spot forex market actually gives us a whole lot more flexibility for position sizing. And so that's why we tend to focus more on the spot forex market than on the currency futures. And the micros is also a good way to learn the strategy. Do your back testing first. That's absolutely critical to success, because if you don't build a trust in the strategy, if you run into when you run into two or three losses in a row, you will abandon it if you don't build the trust and see what it will do in drawdown periods, and see that even though it may draw down, it's going to come back to new equity highs. But going back and doing your back testing is critical, and that's look very carefully at the 12 steps for getting started that Troy makes available on the owner site, because and some of that is take a hard look at yourself. What are your goals for trading? When are you available? How big is your account? You got to look at, is the market right for you? And the ES, the NQ are fairly high capital markets. The YM is not insignificant, but with the YM, the Russell, and with the index futures now, you do have the micros available, which help with your risk control. And risk management. Still long on the euro yen. As I said, that would adjust to 32.99. Let's take a quick look at what unleaded is doing. Unleaded hitting money management and looking for target 2 at 14.91. Unleaded stop now at 15.56. And it looks like we got as low as 15.10. Need another 19 ticks to get target 2. And the stop has moved down to 15.56. And we are in the 10 a.m. So we're at 10 o'clock, which brings us into the 10 a.m. crude session. And that short has gone too far, so we'll wait for a new trade there. Unleaded is just an alternative to crude. Crude is another market that's fairly capital intensive. It's a 10 tick or $10 a tick, and you need to have a fairly strong fairly well capitalized account. Just to typically trade one contract on crude takes about a $12,500 account if you want to keep your risk to 2%. Whereas, and unleaded, because we use a 20 tick range bar, HG. I'm not. What chart is that? I don't remember that one right off the top of my head. There goes unleaded. So it's $4.20 a tick. And the risk on this trade was 87 ticks. So that's about a $300 trade. HG is not something that I've looked at all, so I really don't know what chart to even look at it with. 1506 for the unleaded stop. We did hit target 2, and that was a 108 tick target. So that's $430 plus another about $450 already at target 2, and then we have the trailer still going yet. Okay, HD is copper. That's one market I really have not looked at, so I don't have any kind of concept of what bar size to use on it. So let's see. Try the crude chart on it, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, unleaded stop to 1501. I'm going to assume that we're in the July contract for copper. We've got quite a few charts running, so it's running a little slow. Spotlight was designed primarily for range bars. Counterpunch works very well with range bars, with tick charts, and also with time-based charts. Time-based charts are not a good fit in the trade room here. Well, it looks like it's not a bad 8 tick. Doesn't look to be too bad. Still catching up a little bit on that. Still working on loading that copper chart. That doesn't look bad. I'll expand that in just a moment. Where are you looking, Don? You looking from this set of exhaustion dots down here on pound Aussie? Or one of these two? Looks like the last positive reading is an overbought reading, so it's looking for shorts. Looks like it may have come close, but the last positive reading is the actually it's not because you had a successful short trade. You have no overbought or oversold reading that's valid, and therefore the only thing you're looking for right now is would be a yellow trade off of the 50 EMA. Now let me get this. That's why we haven't had a long pound Aussie. We're sitting right up at the session high as well. I don't know what the tick size offhand is for copper. I'll have to look that one up. Okay, I'm not stopping out at 1501. Almost getting down to target 2, so that's almost a $900 trade. There's what, that's the 8 tick range. It looks like it's a fourth digit decimal tick size. Or maybe not. It may be looking at that, it may be a half tick, or rather a half thou tick. 5/10 thousandths tick size is looking at the data just a bit. Well, it looks like quite a few trades this morning. Looks to be fairly volatile. That might be a little bit fast. Maybe a little bit too much noise there, possibly. That's. I think that one was the straw that broke the camel's back. It's got my computer running really slow. So I might. Let's try. Let's try a 10 tick range or 20 thousandths. 0.2 cents. See if that looks any better. And we're coming up to 10:20, which will be a stand down on our pound Aussie. We'll wait for 11 o'clock to take any new trades there, but nothing so far. Oh, this has got my computer slow. There we go. Got me slowed way down. Okay, that's still loading chart. Do you know what the tick value is? So the tick size is 5/10 thousandths of a dollar. 5/100th of a cent. But do you know what that translates to in the tick value? Yeah, that still has plenty of trades. It's still got some stop and reverses in there, but took out some of the noise. That actually doesn't look like a bad chart. Plenty of trades there. I don't know exactly what the size looks like. Looks like the sizes are reasonable. Just depends on what the tick value is. That's not a bad place to look at it. Yes, I agree. Although it's less so than it has in times past. Why it because it absolutely is there in the electrical side, but you're not you're not seeing it like you used to in the water side. And 50 years ago, it was you had copper wiring and copper pipes, but now you've just got copper wiring. Now that's if you're going to trade it, that's something you definitely need to look at because that determines what your risk is. We're looking at Now, those are things you definitely need to know before you start trading. Okay. So it looks like the risk on that trade is 24 ticks. So we need to know what the tick value is to determine what our risk is going to be, and what the reward is as well. All right, I'm taking a look. I'm on the CME Group website. Take a look at the Yep, looks like we definitely are on the July contract. And yes, the tick size is 5/10,000ths of a cent per pound, or 5/10,000ths of a cent. Okay, so the tick value, the tick size is the 5/10,000ths of a dollar. And the deliverable is 25,000 pounds. So that means one tick about $12.50. So that's a fairly expensive. Yeah, minimum price fluctuation at $12.50 is the value. So that's where you are with that one. Close that. So at 24 ticks, that's so on the 10 tick range bar is $125. So 250. 24 is $300, about $300 risk per contract. So that's about where you are. No, there's not a long trade out there, Don. I'm looking at my. But yeah, that's a possible market. Let's see what, because my charts are not showing any trades either, and the reason is that there are no overbought or oversold readings since the last successful trade. And, the OBOS, OSOB histogram has been staying below zero, below that yellow line. So that's why there have been no trades, and there haven't been any trades off of the 50 EMA. Would be the only way to get a trade at the moment off the pound Aussie. So that Kevin's exactly right. There have been no trades this morning on the pound Aussie. I would have to very much agree with him on that, Don. He's online. He's definitely online on Discord, but there just hasn't been anything for him to put out there. Because without an overbought or oversold, the only trades the trade today is looking for would be a trade off of the 50 EMA. So the tick size is 5/10,000ths, and the value is 12.50 a tick. So that's where you are with copper. So unleaded got to a POQ on one trade. And let's see, what did... Okay, we got into a long on the 10 o'clock crude oil, and we did get target one. So that is another POQ session on crude. That one for 19 ticks. Took a little heat before getting there, but it definitely got there and then stopped out at 65.84, it looks like. Yeah, stopped out at 65.84, so another successful session, mini session there. So the only thing that hasn't done anything this morning is our currencies. No trades on the pound Aussie. Come on, trying to get the pound yen up, or the euro yen up to see what it's done. There it is. Yeah, it's working on it. Doesn't look like currencies are wanting to work for me right now. But the currencies are going pretty slowly and everything else is done. So are there any more questions? I'll wait a few minutes because I know that I tend to be running a delay. All right. Any further questions? I will try to remember to do that, JDS. I understand things can get a little small. The only reason I haven't been doing some of it is because it's taking so long for my computer to repaint the chart full size right now. The point I was making for Don on the pound Aussie is that no, this was the last oversold reading that was positive, and we had a successful short trade based off of that. So we need a new overbought or oversold reading to get the pink or blue trades. So the only trades that are possible right now on the pound Aussie is a yellow trade, and that's off the 50 proximity off the 50 EMA. And we have not seen that this morning. Pound Aussie been been in an uptrend, but been very slow about it. Not many bars. I mean, you literally have 24 hours on screen right now. Actually, about almost 25. It's not so much bandwidth right now, JDS. It's just I'm running on my laptop because I'm having some problems with my desktop, and it's running this many charts is just bogging it down. But that's taking off that copper chart has helped tremendously. So what I normally have up is not too bad, but adding anything to what I normally have up is a little too much. For some reason, the Euro Yen chart doesn't want to come up for me. There it is. So it ultimately did stop and reverse to short. And almost got down to money management, but not quite. So the currencies are just kind of plowing along sideways today. So if there aren't any other questions, I am going to bid everybody farewell for today. And we will see everybody tomorrow. If not for the 9:30 session, Troy will definitely be here for the crude oil inventory report at 10:30. So, there's your first trade, or at least on my chart. And of course, that's in our stand down. There is a trade on the pound Aussie. But we are in stand down until 11 o'clock. So that will be a get in sync if it hasn't gone too far or hit stop. And I wouldn't bet on that being a trade on Kevin's chart, because our charts are typically a little bit different, especially for the EMAs. That's a possibility for 11 o'clock, but not until then. So I will bid you adieu, and everybody have a good afternoon. Back at it tomorrow.